Ride along live, worldwide. Feel the beat, feel the vibe. Amazing host leading the ride. Power to the people, we shine. Giving fans what they need. Caribbean spirit, let's succeed. Every show with a good deed. Together we plant the seed. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong.
To rent a car in Grenada? Welcome to Ride Car Rental, offering efficient, time-saving service with affordable rates and 100% paperless rentals. Whether you're visiting or need a quick ride, we've got you covered. Call now at 473-422-1011 and get behind the wheel today. Ride Car Rental, where convenience meets the road.
Today. Located inside Rider Excursion at the Esplanade Mall, we handle both small and large orders with speed and precision. For fast, quality t-shirt printing, call Instaprint at 473-422-1011. Get your perfect print today at Instaprint. Printing done in an instant.
Yeah. Ride Along Live, welcome to the ride. Welcome to Wednesday on the ride. Make sure my audio is sounding good. Back in the hot seat here. Literally. Ouch. It's very, very hot in the Isle of Spice, guys. So if you see us sweating, that's just natural heat. That's what you get. All right? Big up to everyone that's in a tropical area right now, because all you know what I'm talking about. This sun, this heat, something else, guys. In fact, somebody said, that can't be the sun. Nah, can't be the son. It has to be the father, the grandfather. Welcome to Ride Along Live, guys. Today we have an interesting conversation. Interesting conversation, yes. Tongel, I see you. Karen, I see you. Laura Cador, how are you? Kathleen Thomas. Thank you so much, Kathleen. I see you. Today we're going to talk. We have a discussion, right? And we'll give you guys some update on a story that happened in Grenada just a few weeks ago. But it has been ongoing for many, 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 many years, guys. In fact, what was revealed this week in Grenada here is probably it's at its peak. And it has been peaking for a very long time. I'm talking about incest. I'm talking about rape. I'm talking about allegation of sexual deviance, right? Especially having to do with family, among family members, right? I'll tell you about the story tonight about this young man in Grenada. His name is Mr. Nigel John. He was accused and charged of 10 counts of incest and 5 counts of indecent assault. Now, incest, as they said here, I'll read it verbatimly. He said, incest here is referred to as sexual relation between close members of the family who are typically forbidden by law or social norms from marrying each other. These relationships often involve relative, such as parents or children, siblings, and so forth and so forth and so forth and so forth. So Nigel was charged 10 counts, right? 10 counts of incest. 10 counts of incest. It's alleged that it was his daughter, right? Remember, just a few years ago, we broke a story somewhat similar. And someone asked me to give them an update on that case, which I will. I'll give you guys an update on that case. Remember the pharmacist? Right? Yes, I surely remember the pharmacist. Story broke right here on Ridealong Live. So this is crazy, guys. So everybody tag a friend, because today we have with us Mr. Denison George, who is a U.S. attorney, and he holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from John Jay College. He has 2 master's degree, international law and political science, and a doctor degree in law. Denison is also philanthropist. Okay, all right, yeah, he's that. He's that. And most significantly, George has become a leading crusader, guys. A leading crusader. Whose phone is ringing? It's my phone? Oh boy, where's that phone? Okay, I'll call you back, all right? This is the ride phone. Guys, don't call me now, because you see I'm on air. Yeah, that's when you choose to call. I'm on air, guys, so don't call right now, okay? Right, so we're going to be speaking with George, Denison George. Again, he has been a leading crusader in the fight and advocacy for against domestic violence, women and children in Grenada. You also heard about the case with Denison George, where he pursued that case where the young man that came into Grenada and later was he went back to the U.S. and then he was arrested in the U.S. You guys remember that one, right? Okay, so Denison George was very instrumental in making sure that that case goes straight. And we also give you guys an update on that as well. All right, so a lot to discuss. Everybody share it live. Maria Williams, how are you doing? Thank you so much. At followers, everybody. At followers. At followers. All right? At followers. Let me fix my mic. When you're operating from a remote studio, guys, you have all these issues. All right? So just bear with me. Let me fix my microphone. All right, there we go. There we go. Nutmeg Queen, how you doing? All right, guys, so help me welcome to the ride right now, Mr. Denison George, to discuss this story and a whole lot more. George, how you doing?
Hi, Junior. It's good to be here.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Let me bring down my audio here. Denison, happy. Listen, I'm always happy that you could join us with your level of expertise and experience in this field. I think it was most appropriate that we have you on the program here today.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
It's
Before we go on,
it's not the right, these kind of occasions, it's these kind of subjects, because every time it happened in Grenada, we always think this is going to be the last time we're going to hear some kind of case as what we're hearing now from that case in St. Patrick's.
yes.
Once again, here we are again, and dealing with the same issue. So, but it's good to be able to share my little knowledge and helping to share light on this, and because we have to bring an end to violence against children in Grenada, especially sexual exploitation crime like incest and rape of young children in Grenada, because it's not getting better. Based on the statistics, based on the experts, based on reporting from the Royal Grenadian Police Force, based on UN statistics, and based on the DPP office itself. Even recently, there was Mr. Howard, one of the Crown prosecutor at the DPP office, rang the alarm and said, this is getting out of hand. It's getting worse in Grenada, Julia. I'm not sure if you know that in 2018 there was 6 cases of incest reported in Grenada.
Wow.
2019 there was 8 cases. In 2022 there was 56 cases.
Wow.
So it's we have to ring the alarm, and it's have to end. Too many young lives are being destroyed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dennis, I want to bring folks up to speed with this particular case right here, right? This case involving Mr. Nigel John. He was charged with 10 counts of 10 counts of incest and 5 counts of indecent assault. This is the story right here, guys. Take a look if you haven't seen it before.
Out of Grenada, where a 48-year-old man, Nigel Joseph, a police officer of Mount Rose, St. Patrick, was arrested and charged on Saturday, 21st September, with 10 counts of incest and 5 counts of indecent assault. Joseph appeared at the magistrate's court on Monday, 23rd September, and was granted bail in the sum of $50,000 with 2 sureties. As part of his bail conditions, he is required to surrender all travel documents, relocate from St. Patrick. I guess St. Patrick is a place where he did all that sick stuff. He would also need to seek permission from the court to leave the state, report to Hermitage Police Station once per week, and not have any contact with the virtual complainant. Also, he should inform the police whenever he is leaving Grenada to travel to Carriacou. He has since been suspended from active duty in the Royal Grenada Police Force. Now, I'm wondering, is this with pay or without pay? My guess is with pay, which shouldn't be. And he's also scheduled to make his next court appearance on Monday, 28th October. And I know I said which shouldn't be because I know what 2 of you are saying, innocent until proven guilty. I understand that. But when you look at this, the charges of this police officer, one who we expect to uphold or to, law and order. Here he is charged with 10 counts of incest and 5 counts of indecent assault. And I won't say much more on that, right? Because, again, you're going to say innocent until proven guilty. Let's continue. Yesterday on St. Lucia,
Right, so that was the story there from THG Today. Brethren with a nice vlog that give updates on information outside of Grenada. I wanted to get it from that perspective. Denison, when you see this kind of stories on them, right, what goes through your mind? Like, tell me, I know that you're angered. I know that you get very, very upset about things like that. But tell me about this particular one. What goes to your mind? What went to your mind with this particular incident?
Well, as a human being, Junior, as a father myself, you have emotions, and as an attorney, you're sometimes allowed to have to be able to control your emotions. But here, and this is not the first time. Don't forget, in 2016, we had another Corporal Benjamin, who is serving 15 years for also raping his daughter. He's currently at the Richmond Hill Prison, serving 15 years. And he was another corporal in the Royal Grenadian Police Force. So this is not the first time we've seen this from a high-level officer in the Royal Grenadian Police Force. But this is sickening. This is sickening, especially any type of violence, any type of rape, incest of a child, someone who is 16, should be given the high priority of bringing that individual to justice. Bringing this in, making this individual. But I believe that this is the cases that needs the death penalty. It's on the books in Grenada, but it's not carried out. But I believe this is the cases that need, personally, community justice. But when you have someone of that level, 48-year-old corporal in the SSU, committing such crime against his own daughter, and not only against his own daughter, remember, his crime spree started from St. Andrews all the way to St. Patrick's. And it based on the information that I've gotten, it is stretched over a period of time. And some of the charges is against his own daughter. And I'm saying, why no one saw this? Why no one picked up on this? Why, no one in the community, or no one among him, his friends, the child, the teachers, no one saw this. No one could have, to save this child from this trauma, or children that he molested. So something like this is a sickness, and it's a sickness that have to be dealt with severely. And I think the laws, the structure of the laws in Grenada, and we're going to get to that. But a crime like this, I think the only way to really eradicate that kind of crime from Grenada, incest, which has been, is getting worse. So apparently, as I said, from 8 cases in 2018 to 56 cases in 2021 or 2022, and even the DPP office and all said it's getting worse. I think something have to be done, and I'm going to give you some what I believe need to be done. But a case like this is where it's the death penalty kind of cases in some countries. You will be put to death if
Do you
convicted.
looking at that upward trajectory where we had like almost a 50-60% increase or possibly more? Is it that they see that they get off easy, so it's not really a challenge? Okay, they do it, they get out, they go in. Some of them get bail. The case go on for umpteen amount of years until somehow, when they really get to it, some of them the case get dropped. Is it that the penalties are just not strict enough? That it's kind of like it's like the guys that don't care what the hell afterwards.
Well, let me tell you this, Junior. In 2021, the United Nations UNICEF did a study on crime against women and children, including rape and incest in the OECS. And it was reported that 1 out of every 3 young girl in the OECS, including Grenada,
Yeah.
will be affected by some form of, will face some kind of sexual crime by the time they reach their teenage years. That's 1 out of 3. Okay? Grenada have the highest rated in terms of, is rated the highest in terms of crime, domestic violence and sex crime and incest against children, against girls in the OECS and in the Caribbean, second in the Caribbean, number 1 in the OECS. Now, is not, listen, what you just mentioned is very important because the UNICEF study also recommended that the time period between arrest and appeal is so long that victims forget sometimes what happened to them. Sometimes they people pay them off to go away.
Yeah.
There is no deterrent effect because the time period of when you're arrested and convicted, it's such a long period of time that no one's even, sometimes people don't even remember that type of crime. So then again, you have no deterrent, no effective way of sending a clear message that this would not be tolerated. And I'm sure if there was some form of swift justice, you're arrested. Well, I mean, everyone have a right to due process
Yes.
of the law. Everyone have a right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. But these kind of crimes need to be prosecuted quickly, swiftly, and justice should be handed down swiftly. And it would take, in Grenada especially, it would take changes in the legislations. It would take changes in the attitude of the courts, because on the books you have a 30-year sentence for crimes that are committed. But how many of these defendants really get 30 years?
True.
And even if they get 30 years, how many of them stay in prison for 30 years? Most of them come out of prison within 5 and 10 years. So there is no deterrent effect there. And that is what I believe is one of the most negative effect of having any kind of deterrent effect on stopping this kind of thing from happening. It have to stop. And it's going to take changes in the law, changes in the criminal justice system, and create changes in the attitude of society to really bring an end and to put a dent to this kind of crime happening in Grenada, because it have to stop. It's only getting worse. And I think it was always bad, but because of social media now, and there is more ways of reporting, I think that's why more people are coming forward. But if you want to find out,
So you think it's more being reported now because of
I
social media?
sure, yes. I talk to a lot of women in Grenada. If you want to talk to a lot of women in Grenada, from Grenada, in their 40s and 30s, and you will hear so much horror stories that you would never believe this thing was taking place to them, happening to young girls or women in Grenada back then. But I think also there is more, social media, it makes it more harder to hide things now, and it's always happening. But before, it used to be more swept under the rug.
Right.
So it's harder to hide it now. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think it's more people are coming forward, and this is what we need. That's what the the government need and society need to encourage people to come forward, encourage young children to come forward. But it would take a lot of changes within the system to to implement this kind of structure that could bring an end or put a dent to this kind of, and including Junior. Listen, we Grenada have to declare sex crime against children a strict liability crime, no mitigating factor. The judge shouldn't have any discretion in sentencing someone who raped or incest with a child, especially his child. And when I say strict liability, no excuse, you commit this crime, 30 years in prison. And 30 years in prison means you're doing 30 years in prison. The judge shouldn't look back and say, oh, well, he was a good guy and he was this and he made a mistake. And this is where it needs to start. Strict crime of this nature have to be a strict liability crime. Strict sentences, judges have no discretion on how much time you get. It's written in the book, that's it. And when you go to Richmond Hill Prison, you go to Richmond Hill Prison to do hard work, not to live as a king.
Right. You know, I was going through social media and I came upon this note, right? This was written by, well, let me see if I could, let me take it off here and put it on the other screen. Let me show everyone this. See, we have it up. Okay, yeah. So this was published by Nigel Joseph. She posted that on social media. And in essence, I'm going to summarize it. What she's saying there is that this said officer, right, this same person, allegedly made passes at her 15-year-old daughter. And he didn't touch her, but he asked her about, she believed that he was trying to lure her by asking her if she had a cell phone, and if she didn't have a cell phone, then he would purchase a cell phone for her. So Rhonda posted this on social media. I reached out to Rhonda to get some information on what transpired, and she explained that to me. She was very upset, right? So what I'm seeing from this, right, is that this doesn't seem as it was an isolated event. How could this been happening for such a long time, where people obviously know or knew or alleged that this guy had been doing something and nobody said anything?
Because he's a member of the most elitist police agency in Grenada. He's an SSU. He's a police officer. You know how our culture is structured. Maybe people thought that maybe he gives the impression that he's above the law. We're not sure if he used threats and intimidation against his victims to prevent them from coming forward. We know that when it comes to reporting these kind of crimes, the old boy network is always in place. Women are frightened to go to the police because of the way our society is structured, being laughed at. Once as a child in Grenada, once you get being molested, the stigma follows you. People teases you for the rest of your life. You are looked like a problem. You are sometimes even made to believe that you are responsible for what happened to you. And I'm sure that I'm 100% sure other individuals around that gentleman knew what he was doing. And some people just laughed it off and then didn't take it serious. And I'm sure even if someone had went to the police, most police officers would not even take it serious because of his status, because of his job, because of his position. And it's because, we live in a society where we have to face it. In Grenada, men still believe they own women. Men still believe that they're in charge and these women don't have rights. And you walk the street, they disrespect you, they tease you, they call your name. Ask young girls what's going on, and they will tell you. So I'm just saying is that I believe other individuals knew. I believe there is no victims out there.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping they would come forward.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because listen, 10 counts of incest. So at least they could have recorded at least 10 times, which I'm pretty sure it's much more.
Yeah, there are more victims out there, I believe.
5 and these counts are these counts only with this one individual? in this particular instance here, or did anybody else come forward? That I don't know. But 10 counts of incest and 5 counts of indecent assault. And for the years that this thing have been happening, no one came forward to rescue this young girl from the horror that she was going through. And that by itself is insane. I think added to the fact that the law should be strict on the perpetrator, I think the law should extend to people who are aware of these type of these things and don't come out and report it. Because
I think Grenada have a law on the books that you should report it. I think I'm not sure if it's extended to everyone, but I know it's if you're a teacher, you have a child come to you. I think there is a right to report in Grenada. You have the obligation to do so. Now, what I'm saying to you, Junior, is that look at this. This guy did such a heinous crime, and he's now out on bail. Somebody that shouldn't get bail. That's why we have to change the law. Bail should also, we have to change the laws in Grenada that when you commit such crime, the severity of the crime should also be taken into consideration when bail is being granted.
Yes.
In Grenada, it's what's on the books, and that's what they're going by. But when you commit such heinous crime against your own daughter and against other children, you shouldn't be granted bail. And the way this whole bail package is structured, it makes Grenada look like a laughing stock. Listen to this, Junior. Where is Hermitage? Let me ask you that. Where is Hermitage? What parish?
In St. Andrew.
No, Hermitage in St. Patrick's.
St. Patrick. Okay. Oh, yes.
Now his bail. I'm reading his bail requirements. He have to relocate from the parish of St. Patrick's, but he still have to go back to Hermitage station once a week to report. Isn't that a joke?
Right.
Isn't that a joke? Can you imagine that? Oh, no one in the DPP office couldn't have picked up on that. He had to relocate from St. Patrick's. But he's required to go back to Hermitage unsupervised.
To that same area.
Same area.
You are right.
No one picked up on that.
Let me read that again.
You have to report to Hermitage Police Station once a week.
Let me check that out again. Guys, we open up the phone line so you can call in the number 718-701-5720. You can call in right now to voice your opinion on the topic. This man, Nigel John, charged with 10 counts of incest and 5 counts of indecent assault on his own daughter. I'm trying to pull up the story here.
Nigel Joseph Jr.
Joseph, not John. Joseph.
Yes.
The John reference, which is very interesting, I wanted to bring up to you.
John Alexis.
No. The judge in this case here is someone that I think that we dealt with before.
Don't put me to legal.
Okay, all right. So we are gonna go there. We're not gonna go there.
I'm already being sued for millions of dollars. So
okay, so we are gonna go there.
If you want to talk about John, let's remind our listeners that 6 months, 4 months, 5 or 6 months ago in Carriacou, we had almost a similar case with John Alexis, molested and killed his stepdaughter Esther Patterson. And Grenadians vowed this was going to be the last. This would never happen again. Don't forget in 2017 we had Ariel Bola, who was brutally killed. 80-year-old Ariel Bola, and we pledged that this was the last. This would never happen again. And now we're dealing with the same situation, even worse. And my brother, I don't know, but something have to be done.
Yeah.
And if the government cannot handle it, then some kind of community justice will have to step in to protect the children of Grenada.
Again, guys, let's open up the phone line, 718-701-5720. We're talking about this heinous crime here. We're talking about incest. And I think the most disappointing thing about it, Denison, is that the community never picked up on it. People did not pick up on it. There was very little report on it. And I'm sure, as you said, the folks in his immediate circle probably knew about it, right? And we have to go a step further to try to even go get to a psychologist to talk to people who are young people that are going through these things. And how do you report it and what steps you take? Because, I mean, I'm sure that young kid went through horror. And there have to be certain things like the teachers probably could have seen a change in her behavior, could have asked a question for over this period of time. Because it's obviously she may not come out and say it, but you might look at change in behavioral patterns.
But look at Esther Patterson, the young lady, the young child from Carriacou. She went to tell her mother. And when the mother confronted the stepfather, he murdered her. So, I mean, how are we going to encourage? We have to look at there is I believe, as the UN studies had said, Julia, there is a lot of mitigating factors that are contributing to this problem of incest and sexual crime against children and women in Grenada. But the root cause is a sickness. These people are sick. If you're going to look at your 12-year-old daughter and sexually molested her, you have to be sick. Rum can't make you do this. There is no reason for committing such a crime against your own child. So it, number one, sickness, mental sickness, evilness.
Right.
Number two, you have cultural norms.
Yeah.
A lot of people in our small society are aware that some of these things are taking place, and they are sweeping it under the rug. They are, they are not coming forward. They're trying to protect the man because of poverty plays a great role.
Yes.
A lot of families, sometimes these women are poor and they have these men in their lives and providing for the family. And then the mother frightened that the man would go and she wouldn't get that kind of support anymore. And she's tied between reporting him to the police and not having food on the table. Then you have money, have a big issue where most of these perpetrators would be pouring money into the family to buy their secret, to buy their silence. And then you have alcohol also, and which plays a role in sometimes in these crimes. Some of these men and them drink themselves to a state where, to them, committing these kind of evil crimes, they don't care. Right. And then another thing, Junior, you have what I believe is there is no serious way of dealing with these people, because you send them to Richmond Hill Hotel, they spend 3-4 years there, and they come back out to do the same thing. So there is no sense kind of deterrent, because if they knew they was going to Richmond Hill Hotel and spend a prison and spending 30 years, you would think twice before doing something. If you knew that you were going to be killed, you understand?
Right.
And executed by the government, you would think twice. If they knew that, like if this would happen in Jamaica or some place in Trinidad, you know what happened. This guy would have been dead, gone. So yeah. I'm saying there's a lot of contributing factors to why we have this serious evilness within our society in Grenada that is destroying so many young lives, 1 out of 3.
Yeah.
Children.
Someone asked a question here, very, very relevant question at this time, and I would like to understand this. Where is the mother in all of this? And what happened to that mother-daughter relationship when obviously most daughters would confide in their mother, would go to her aunt and speak? What happened there? What do you think?
Well, as I say, I'm sure there is a lot of good mothers that I know my mother would have never tolerated this. And I'm sure there is a lot of mothers, maybe the majority of the mothers in Grenada would not tolerate this. They would kill you. They would go out of their way to get rid of you. You remember the case in Simoon with the young lady from Guyana?
Yeah.
That admitted killing the young man who was molesting her daughter.
Yes.
So I'm sure the majority of the women in Grenada would not tolerate this. Maybe even great majority. But then you have a small percentage that are trapped in poverty. Mm-hmm. They are trapped in economic, degradation. And then you have some that just like money and selfishness.
Right.
And then you have some that don't give a damn. They feel having a man is better than having no man, even though he's destroying his own children or his stepchildren. So we have to, that's where the health ministry and the social workers have to come to get together to develop a strategy of how we're going to make it a priority, making the children a priority, especially when they're trapped in these kind of situation, that these mothers will be willing to turn these perpetrators in and, seek justice for their children.
Yeah.
How we do that? I don't know how we do that. I'm not a specialist in that area, but something have to be done. This
I
is
know you
getting
have some statistic there, George. How do we possibly reverse these type of statistics? Because it's going in the wrong direction. I was speaking to an attorney there, and he said the courts are tied up with sexual assault, and in most cases, it's not strangers. It's incest. It's situations like these. How do we 360 this type of incidents from the statistic that you have?
Let me tell you this. In 2023, Grenada, the Grenada government launched what you call Grenada Info Safe, which the police had developed a database in providing statistics and recording gathering information regarding sexual crime against women and children. I recently checked; there is nothing there. So I guess everyone forget about Grenada Safe, Info Safe. Let me tell you what I believe have to be done, Julia. And the situation is so serious now when 1 out of every 3 young young girl in Grenada is going to be a victim of such heinous crime that are going to affect them. You have to remember, when you are a victim of this kind of crime as a young girl, this destroy you for the rest of your life, especially in a country like Grenada where there is no proper mechanism for receiving therapy. We're not talking the US or Canada or England where these children will be given first class therapy and help to forget about, help them to heal. We don't have that kind of safety net in Grenada. Yeah, you have therapists. And I'm sure I'm not putting down the therapists that are really working hard in Grenada trying to help these children recover. But we live in a small society. When these things happen, everyone in the community know what happened to you. And if you take a study or you look back on some of the women in Grenada, that they will tell you that they never got any help for what happened to them. And as I say, there is stigma involved where people look at you like you were the problem. You understand where I'm coming from, Junior? So what I'm saying, this is what let me tell you, I suggested that to a friend of mine, and she said, George, you're crazy. I believe, Junior, one of the most, that's my opinion, important way to deal with this. I believe every school child in Grenada at the beginning of every term should have a health examination, which also include a psychological examination, especially young girls. And when I say psychological examination, when we Grenadians hear the word psychological, we think people are crazy. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about where a young girl will have a complete health examination and a psychological examination where she sit down in a council and you talk to them about life and this, they are bringing and if everything is okay. Because I think that's the only way we could get to the bottom of this.
But the funny thing about it is, George, it's not only young girls that are being molested. In many cases,
yes,
saw it in the case that we worked on within New York, the little boys yes. are being sexually molested as well.
Right.
So they have to be counselors that pay attention and speak to the kids.
I think so. I think this is at such a crisis level that's one of the measures that I would recommend to, if I was given the opportunity to make a recommendation, that every child should have a health examination, which include a psychological examination to find out what's going on in their life, how are they doing, and maybe that is a way we could pick up on who is being molested and who is not being molested. We cannot depend on some of the mothers to report some of these crimes. And because, as I say to you, it's a lot involved. And sometimes we, on the outside, we don't know what some of these mothers are going through. And as I say, I'm sure some of them want to report it, but they are trapped. There are threats involved. And I think one of the ways, as even the UN suggested, Julia, one of the way that we could, the legislation could really, Grenada need to develop what you call a family court.
Uh-huh.
Grenada does not have a family court structure. I think St. Lucia have. I think St. Vincent has recently passed legislation to create a family court structure. If you have a family court structure where a lot of these family issues are dealt with, and vulnerable children and vulnerable families are known by the system, then you could have a more outreach to prevent some of these incidents from taking place before they even happen. So I think Grenada need to have a court system, that a family court system, because listen, the court system in Grenada right now is backlogged. And one of the biggest problem the UN cite for the Eastern Caribbean, including Grenada, is that it takes too long to prosecute these cases.
Yeah.
You have a magistrate in Grenville dealing, or in St. George's or in Sautez dealing with a million things, and they have to make time to deal with these cases. These cases should be handled by a special judge, well-trained individuals. You understand? And quick through the system. And these individuals should be dealt with quickly. If they're innocent, then they'll be proven innocent. If they're guilty, put them away for life.
Yeah. Let's open up the phone lines again, guys. We want to get your views on this. In this particular case here, we have a young man. Again, let me get his name right. His name is Nigel
Joseph.
Joseph. The reason why I said John, I had it right. I had it wrong in my notes. That's why. Nigel Joseph, charged with 10 counts of incest and 5 counts of indecent assault on his own daughter. Now, the young man is out on bail at the moment, a $50,000 bail with 2 sureties, have to report to the police station, and he have to relocate from the area. But as Denison cited there, the police station is in St. Patrick. So he has to go out, and then he obviously will have to come back in. But one of the things that's in there says that he ought to have no relation, no communication with the virtual complainant in this particular case right here. So that is where it is. But the bail is what haunting a lot of people, because this is showing. This is going to wait until his next court hearing or whatever, and then if he's found guilty, he's just going to be out. And most of the time, Denison, these things take years,
Yep.
donkey years, before it actually is finalized. So I want to find out from you guys that's watching. Give us a call and let's talk about this. What do you think should be done? Let's talk about some recommendation to basically send the signal, the message to perpetrators that this is serious. And we could even talk about politics and politicians and how they play into this, because it doesn't seem like politicians have the appetite to really go hard on sexual assault, sexual abuse in the Denison. Politician go, politician come. It is like the same soft, basically just spanking them on their hand. There is no real serious laws, you know.
Children don't vote.
Yeah. Oh, I guess
Children don't vote.
that's one way to look at it.
Yes.
But let's open up the phone line, guys. You could call in right now and let's talk about what should be done in instances like these to avoid or to send a strong signal to the next would-be perpetrator in this particular case. The number that you call is 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. That's how does the other islands compare to that of Grenada?
Well, crime against women and children, it's a serious issue in the OECS. It's on the rise in all the OECS countries. It's a rise in the Caribbean, but Grenada stands out as second in the Caribbean, and in the OECS we are top, especially with incest and crime against women and girls. So the UN, as I say, recently did a study, and I guess the I cannot. Are you hear me?
Hold on 1 second, Denison. Sorry to cut you there. I just took a call on the computer from a WhatsApp caller. Hold on, let me just sort him out properly in terms of microphone, audio, speaker. Let's go out here. Yeah, Denison, Could you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Caller, could you hear me?
Yeah, Junior, sure, I'm there.
Denison, could you hear the caller?
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Sorry about that, Denison. I took the call and it kind of
No, that's okay. That's okay.
all right. Caller, go right ahead. Make your point on the
Yeah,
topic.
sorry, I happen to be looking at it on both devices. I think that's part of the problem.
Okay.
Yeah, but I guess you might know who's calling. This is Glenn, right?
Yes. Hi, Glenn.
And I've been listening. As I say, I've been listening on two devices, so some it's more or less backlog, but I get the gist of what is going on.
Right.
And as Mr. George explained, like a lot of it is, as a matter of acceptance. It's stuff that has been accepted over a period of time, probably like even before our time. A lot of things it's okay or based on the stigma and so on. You know, but that just goes to show. Look at my case. I think it was last week that I came on your program and let people know what's really going on in my instance, and within a week we have something that is even more severe that is being out there, and I mean the person is being prosecuted, unlike my case. And I'm sitting there and wondering something. I mean, it's like we call a lot of different organizations, we quote what is recommended by United Nations and stuff, but where does the politician come in now? I mean, a case like that, you would, even if he's not a representative, or at least the politician that is responsible for similar instances, like those responsible for churches and stuff. Yeah.
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like, I mean, does it make sense that a politician come out and I mean just say something on this issue? What is being done? I mean, is there any change that will be taking place in the short, in near future and stuff like? So just venting, and is the people that, as I say, we keep voting for every 5 years. No one is showing no interest.
Junior, I tend to agree with the caller. I don't know if you remember Junior.
Change like that. The people that we put in power that's supposed to enact change, but we're not hearing anything from any one of them.
All
Yeah.
right. All right, caller.
Junior,
Let's
let
see,
me
Mr. George. Thank you, caller. We appreciate you.
let
Thank
me
you.
just say this. I tend to agree with the caller. I've been involved in an organization in Grenada. And
Yeah. Denison, go ahead.
I've been involved in an organization in Grenada,
Yeah.
and this organization has been calling for the creation of a sex offenders registry in Grenada over the last 15 years. The last government promised the people they would create a offenders registry, and in that registry, anyone who committed sexual crime, like you have in the U.S. and most other countries in the world, your name would be in that registry. So everyone in the community, everyone in the parish, everyone in Grenada would know what your background. Junior, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Go ahead, Denison.
Everyone would know what your background is, okay? Because you would be registered as a sex offender. Now, the new government had promised. I remember specifically the new government promising that once they get in power, they would create that sex offenders registry. Nothing. These men continue to commit their crime. They go to a rich money hotel. They come back, and no one have a clue of what they have done in their past. We need to create a sex offenders registry in Grenada that all past and present sex offenders have to register, and the public would know who they are. Everyone would know who they are based on that registry. And
Yeah.
that is desperately needed. Every civilized country in the world has sex offenders registry. I don't
True.
understand why we can't have one in Grenada.
True. True. Let's take our next caller on the line. Caller, you live. Where are you calling us from?
Hi, Junior. Good evening.
Yeah.
I'm calling from Boston.
Boston, go right ahead.
Junior, I think 2018 you had a show like this in reference to a young child being raped, right? And the same question that I heard you repeat what someone asked, where is the mother in all of this? I called and said the very same thing that I'm saying right now. My girlfriend, her husband was raping her daughter, which is his stepdaughter,
Right.
that he grew up since she was 2 years old. He started raping her when she was 8 years old. She got pregnant at 9, had the baby at 10. The mother did not know anything. The reason why, They had a business, a pizzeria, and he had a licensed gun. And he was threatening the daughter, well, the stepdaughter, with the gun, saying that if you tell your mother or anyone, I'm going to shoot you. Now, as an 8-year-old, when someone has a gun to your head or your face and they are telling you this, what are you going to do? You're not going to go and tell anyone because this is the man that you live with and that you call daddy, and he is threatening you, right? So in certain cases, the mother has no clue, and the child cannot tell the mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we still cannot come down on the mother. And let me say one thing, Junior, and I said this also, and I got beat up by your viewers. My daughter, when she was born, I told her father, under no circumstances, you cannot put my daughter on your lap. I don't care. You cannot change her pampers, and you cannot take her without me being there, because if you do, you would have to change her pampers. So when I said that, your viewers were saying out there saying that, oh, I think I'm the only one that ever had a child, or what? That's her father. Why would I not allow her to sit on her father's lap? This case right here and many more is the reason why I had never allowed him to put her sitting on his lap. You have a good evening.
All right, thank you, caller. Thank you, caller. I don't agree with that entirely because, and I understand where she's coming from. I remember the show when she called in 2018. Not everybody is like that. Like, I have a son and I have a daughter, and it is not in every man's mind to sexually molest their children, right? So to say that fathers should not be there in that way, I mean, it's painting a very broad stroke brush because a lot of men, and probably the majority of fathers, don't think of sexually molesting their kids. Your thought, Denison?
Well, I tend to agree with you. We're not going to catch it. It should be perceived that you're not going to catch every case of a child being molested by their father, their uncle, their brother, or a stranger. But we have to do our best. Society has a responsibility to protect that child.
Yeah.
And society have a responsibility to do whatever it takes to make sure that children has a right to have a childhood. Every
Yes.
child have a right to have a safe childhood. And that's the right of the UN Charter. That's why UNICEF was created, to protect and make sure every child around the world have a safe childhood. Now, you may not be able to protect every child, but you have to try your best. That don't mean you have to try to protect every child. You may not catch every child. Now, I'm saying that this is so prevalent in our society in Grenada that it's almost an epidemic.
Yes.
It's a hidden epidemic. I am sure, Junior. Well, I don't have to listen. It's already stated. The facts already prove that 1 out of every 3 young girl in Grenada, in St. Vincent, in the OECS, will face some kind of sexual offense. It may not be rape. It may be, by the time they reach age 16.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm saying, this is so prevalent in our society in Grenada and so hidden under the rug that we have to come up with some kind of strategy, whether it include the politicians, whether it include the schools, the teachers, the churches, whoever. All organizations have to come together to put a fight to bring this to an end in Grenada. Lock up who need to be locked up, jail who need to be jailed for life, and send a clear message that this will not be tolerated anymore.
Absolutely.
Okay? And we have to develop, listen, I'm sure, as I say to you, there is some mothers who are complicit in what is happening to their children. Complicit. They take money. I hear stories all the time. Some mothers take money from the men and sell their daughters away. And there is some mothers who would kill someone for touching their child.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
there is some mothers who are trapped in violence and fear that if they go forward, they will be killed or the child, because the men sometimes use for threats of violence, as you know, that to kill the mother, kill the child if they ever report it. But we have to come up with a formula. That doesn't mean we can't come up with a formula to try to make sure that every child who are going through something like this is rescued. There
Yes.
have to be a rescue mission. And as I say to you, people might say I'm crazy, but I believe the school plays a great important role. As I say, maybe some kind of health examination with a psychological evaluation where children are being talked to at every term period at the beginning of every year. You talk to the children what's going on in their life, and maybe you may not catch all the children who are victims, but you might, if you have people that are well trained, they might be able to pick up that something is not right in the home of this child.
Right.
That's where a family court system is needed, badly needed in Grenada.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
know we're speaking a lot about young girls, right? And when we're speaking about sexual assault or sexual abuse and incest, we're always thinking about it's only young girls that get sexually molested. But there have to be a level of understanding that it's not only young girls, it's also young boys, little boys as well.
Yes.
So to the caller who said, okay, she won't allow her daughter to sit on her father's lap. I mean, he is really missing out on, or she, sorry, my microphone. Yeah, she's missing out on a large part of her father being a part of her life. But if you were to keep the same energy, it's safe to say that you would say that he should not be close to his father as well, because it goes both ways. They don't care. It's like an even playing field there. They molest boys just as much as they molest some girls in some instances, right? Probably have more girls, but a lot of young boys get molested.
Yes.
So we have to remember that young boys also get molested and they also need to be protected. And young boys is less would in most cases um, would not come out and speak about it. They might,
And the stigma is worse.
stigma is worse. They would hold it in. But still, we have to let kids be kids and bond with their father, bond with their mother. We can't take that away. But at the same time, we have to figure out mechanism that will be put in place to protect the children. At the
Grenada,
end.
let me just give you an example of this. In Grenada, the law says that if you molested a child under the age of 13, then you're facing 30 years in prison. But if you molest a child over 13 and between 13 and 16, is 15 years in prison. Is that madness?
Yeah, that is. I never
And
mind.
the age of consent is 16. What's the difference between 13, 14, and 15 and 16? You understand where I'm coming from? Is
Yeah,
this kind of joke that's on the books that's need to be replaced, and in order for us to tackle and it takes leadership. It takes leadership from the top to get this done. And as I say, look at this. Mr. Joseph is part of his bail requirement that he has to move out from St. Patrick's. But
yes,
he has to report back to St. Patrick's once a week in Hermitage. Like Hermitage is not in St. Patrick.
right, right.
It's a joke.
Yeah, probably he will report at the border of St. Patrick and St. Andrew, like right. Or by Batway Beach, he might be in the lower part of Batway Beach,
So I
jungle.
don't understand this. I mean, what is he? Does he has an ankle bracelet? What kind of supervision?
Right.
This guy shouldn't be allowed nowhere in society, not even to ride the bus with a child.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be riding no buses with children, the school children. He should not be allowed to mingle anyway. He should be under house arrest, if not in prison. I think he should be locked up until trial. You know, instead of he's going out there and harm another child. But if that's not the case, put him under house arrest. He cannot leave his house. But he's free to travel to Hermitage, a couple of village away from where he committed his crimes, riding on the bus with children. I don't understand this.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way it is.
That is, I definitely. But Denison, we need to keep advocating and not only have a knee-jerk reaction. This we have to be talking about this all the time. Not only when something happened. And you know, folks like yourself, and I see oftentimes you post on your Facebook page, and you keep the conversation going. And I hope other people, they don't just talk about this for the next 5 days and then after that they look for the next hype. This has to be a conversation that continues. To get action, you have to continue the conversation. And also, Denison, I wanted to talk about. I know you were very instrumental in the incident when we broke the story here on Ride Along in relation to the young boy that was sexually molested by the young man who came from New York and went back to. He came from New York. He sexually abused a child here and then went back to New York. What's the update on that? Did he get jail time?
Well, he ended up, he molested a child in Grenada and he was charged $600, no jail time.
Yeah.
And he and his representative and all his people thought he got away with it. Everybody thought he got away with it. But we pursued him here. You were involved. Other people were involved. And we worked with the U.S. government, the FBI, and Homeland INS and Homeland Security. And he faces up to 15 to 30 years in prison. He's doing 15 to 30 years. And, and the most important thing, Junior, the good part of that story that which you also contributed to the child, we were able to get the child to come to the U.S.
Yes.
And the child and his mother is in the U.S. And the child and their mother is in the U.S. and receiving therapy and with a pathway to U.S. citizenship. But not the other children in Grenada are not fortunate to be able to receive that kind of therapy and counseling, and it's sad. It's sad that this thing is right now. It's sad that as we speaking right now, some young child in Grenada, some young girl or boy are frightened to go to bed because their father or their brother or their uncle or someone is going to creep into that room and molest them.
Yeah.
And we have to. Well, I mean, I don't know what the government could do, what social service could do, but they have to. We have to be able to reach some of these children. I don't know. I listen. Some way, and everyone have to get involved. A lot of people know, as I say, that's what is going on in the communities. But we have this mentality of minding our own business. It's not my business.
Yeah.
And for God's sake, if you know someone is doing that to a child or you suspect, report it.
Absolutely.
Report him. Report her.
Yeah.
And don't worry about who is who and this is Mr. So and so. This guy has been molested from St. Patrick's to St. Andrews. A corporal in the RRU. And I'm saying, think of the victims. So if you know someone is being victimized, please do the right thing and step forward. It's your business.
Yes.
It's your business.
Yeah.
Because this person who have been molested have to grow up in our society. And as you know, Junior, sometimes a lot of these perpetrators have been victims themselves.
Yeah. True. We got another caller, last caller for the night. Caller, you live, where are you calling us from?
It's Mr. Danny McIntosh calling from London.
Danny McIntosh from London. How are you doing, my friend?
Not too bad.
Yes, go right ahead.
One of the things that's come up from my perspective, Junior, in relation to this particular incident and many other incidents of this nature is victim shaming and victim blaming. There's even some comments on the post where people are saying about bashing the child and so on and so forth. If a young person makes an allegation against an adult, it should be taken seriously. If the young person detracts later on, that's fine. But if a young person or a woman makes an allegation against an adult, it should be taken seriously. There's an attitude in Grenada. You hear statements like, "Oh, she's playing big woman," or she's looking for it, or after 12 is lunch, and all these types of statements. It needs to stop. People need to think what they are saying. One person has commented, and I had to take exception with her for saying that, we didn't see what happened, so if the child lied, they should bash the child. What kind of foolishness is that? Somebody has made an allegation, it needs to be treated. One of the other issues I have in Grenada with the system is confidentiality. So if somebody makes a report of such nature, and then the victim's name is brandished about everywhere, the authorities, whether it be the Child Protection Agency, the police, they need to treat these things in confidence. One of the things I would disagree with, I don't believe that necessarily jailing somebody for having a sentence for 30 years or castration will prevent somebody from committing a crime. Because, for example, in America, they have the death penalty, and people still shoot and kill people. It needs I agree with Denison. It needs re-education, and it has to start from the schools. It must start from the schools. I know there's a lot of pressures on teachers, etc., but we need to start from the schools, have things in place so young people and children learn about what is sexual offenses, what is abuse, so they are aware of these things. And again, I reiterate before I go, we need to stop victim blaming and victim shaming.
Absolutely.
I agree, Junior. That makes a lot of sense. And
Yes.
even in school, you have to maybe more aggressive with educating young people in school, even age from 3. That if someone touch you inappropriately, create a safe zone in school where these young children could maybe talk to someone in the school. As you know, a lot of people are apprehensive about going to the police because sometimes you go to the police and everyone will know your business because Grenada is a small place. Everybody know each other. But
Right.
I think it would start with the legislation, with the government passing new laws, making crime, sex crime against children like rape and incest a strict liability crime. Take away the discretion of the judge to set bail. You commit such crime, you understand? The judge discretion would be based on the severity of the crime, whether you get bail or not. So the judge would take the fact that this was a serious crime, a heinous crime. The chance of you repeating it is so severe that we can't trust to put you back out in the community. I rather you sit in jail than you go out there and you molest another child because one touch of another child could destroy that child for life.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to sentencing, you get 30 years, you do 30 years. You get 40 years, you do 40 years. No parole, no early release. I think that would send a clear message. If we can't execute them, then that would be the next option. But I believe the community justice. And where is the men? And I'm saying, where is the uncles? And I mean, when I was a young boy, growing up in Grenada, your uncle would step forward and protect you. I'm hearing some of the situation. I'm saying, where are the fathers of some of these young girls? And I mean, we know what this father did,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, where is the uncle? This guy should disappear. One night, disappear. He shouldn't be out on bail, $50,000 bail, and have to report to the police station in Hermitage once a week and go about his business riding on the bus from town to Grenville and from wherever he is with children and walking about. And I don't understand it, but something have to be done, and it have to be done fast.
Well, while in this conversation here, I had about 4 different messages. So I'm going to look into it because a lot more people are coming out and speaking. And we believe that people now hearing about this story, seeing this particular individual, will get more of the same, more of the stories.
And Junior, as Danny said, you'll be surprised sometimes. Some of the individuals in society, people in high places,
Yeah.
are doing these things to children. And sometimes the kids are frightened to report it. Sometimes a neighbor, sometimes frightened to report it because nobody would believe them over Mr. So and so.
Right.
So create a safe zone where people could come forward to the police or some agency and with the strictest and highest confidentiality that we're going to investigate and we're going to get to the bottom of this. Something have to be done, Junior.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Something needs to be done. And a lot of people, I see this all the time. People say about naming and shaming, and I believe that in many cases, these perpetrators or alleged perpetrators or those charged for these crimes, They are more scared to be seen to the general public. They hide their face. They cover their face. They don't want nobody to see what they did. Or they don't want nobody to identify them. And if it becomes that we need to really get strict on name and shaming those people, putting them out there, if they're not going to be our sex registry, then how about showing the world who you really are? Because that is the only thing sometimes I think that has really shamed them. So this is the police officer that is charged with incest. They're still innocent until proven guilty, but at this point he's charged with a total of 15. So it is 10 counts of incest and 5 counts of indecent assault. We're going to continue to follow this case as we did. We broke the story here with the pharmacist, and we're going to give you guys an update on that story as well. In the coming weeks, there was some development between the time. But Denison, thank you so much, my brother, for coming.
Let me just say this, Junior. I just got a text message from someone and said, Denison, don't encourage people to go there and take the law into their own hands. I'm not encouraging anyone that if you see Corporal Nigel Joseph to take the law into their own hands. That's not what I'm advocating for. I am advocating for that sometimes the community have to step forward and protect the children in the community. And I'm just saying, if it was my child or my niece or my sister, that's what I would do. So I'm not advocating for anyone to take the law. You see Corporal Nigel down the street tonight, you're going to do, take the law into your own hands, and that's not what I'm advocating for.
Yeah, and Ridealong is not advocating that either. We believe that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. He's charged. He's not yet found guilty, so we're going to follow this case. You guys the rest of it. Denison George, thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother.
With us, we'll keep in touch. All right, keep doing your thing.
All right, have a blessed night. Thank you.
Thanks again, my friend.
All right.
Yeah, so that was, of course, Denison George. Always great chatting. Always great chatting with Denison. And a lot of people think that that's actually my blood brother, right? People see me and ask me all the time, oh, I saw your blood brother, Denison. Probably we are. Who knows? Thanks for watching, guys. Let's take a quick commercial break. I'll come back with some final closing words. We'll be right back.
Or event to the next level? Advertise on Ridealong Live and reach over 10 million viewers worldwide every month. With a global audience tuning in for the latest news, entertainment, and culture, your message will get the exposure it deserves. Don't miss the opportunity to showcase your brand to a diverse and engaged audience. Ridealong Live, where the world watches and your business grows. Contact us today to get started.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians! From wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up several notches. But the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
Excursion and Tours weekly e-bike rides. Gather your family and friends for an unforgettable ride through stunning landscapes. Book your adventure today at ridersabike.com or call 473-422-1011. Don't miss out. Let's ride.
To rent a car in Grenada? Welcome to Ride Car Rental, offering efficient, time-saving service with affordable rates and 100% paperless rentals. Whether you're visiting or need a quick ride, we've got you covered. Call now at 473-422-1011 and get behind the wheel today. Ride Car Rental, where convenience meets the road.
Yeah. Guys, listen. It takes a village to raise a child, right? Remember that old saying? That saying it's still relevant today, right? It takes a village. If you know, you heard, you see something, right? It may not be your child. And you ain't makoing. Forget that. You're actually saving a life. If you are aware right now of this type of incest or this type of assault happening to young children, report it. You are essentially, and you might be saving a young child's life by you reporting it. You ain't being a mako, you ain't getting in people's business, you are doing your civil duty. It takes a community to raise a village to raise a child. Because what happening is, let me tell you this, these kids are our kids, right? These kids are our kids. At some point in time in their life, they would become the doctor that may stand over you. They will be the judge. They will be the police officers. They will be the nurses. They would be the people who take this world. When we are in pampers and diapers laying in the hospital bed, they are the people that will govern over us. They are the politicians. They are the senators. So in essence, they are our children. They're all of our children. So we have to protect them. We have to see it like that. Yes, they might be, the parent might be this person down the road. But at the end of the day, they are our children, and especially in a place that is small like Grenada. These young people, in a matter of years, they would be administering medicine to you. So do you not want to protect them? Their state of mind, their mental state. They are our children. So if you see something happening, report it. You are essentially protecting our children. And for fathers, for men, we need to be more vocal on this type of things. Like, I can be the breadwinner of no homeboy or no best friend to anybody who do those things. I can slap hand in the gym and go hang out or whatever with anybody that I know is into this type of nonsense. I don't friend with this type of people, right? So men, we need to speak up strongly about this. We need to speak up strongly about this. And women, it's not all men are like this. Not all men that have kids that think in their mind, boy, I wanna sexually molest or even look at your daughter or your son in any kind of inappropriate way. So don't feel because your boyfriend or your husband may, cuddle his daughter or kiss his daughter on the cheek or whatever it is, not all men are like this. Not all men are like this, right? So don't paint a broad stroke brush and say men are like that. That is not the case. So don't be scared in terms of you choosing your next partner and then you have your antenna up. Yes, have your antenna up. I'm not saying to not be conscious of what's happening. Develop a conversational relationship with your daughters and son that they could come to you. Somebody touch them in a kind of way. Have that relationship that they could come to you and talk to you. That is most important. That is most important. And it's in fact, it's very important that you do that. And both fathers should have that relationship and mothers should have that relationship. All right? And let's start listening to our kids. Don't feel the kids are being disagreeable, like we will say in our local parlance. How are you so disagreeable? Right? Sometimes they are really telling you the truth. You have to listen to them. And sometimes some kids, they don't even talk so much about the things that's affecting them. Sometimes we have to look at the behavior, the behavioral pattern. If you know your child goes to school 90% of the time and is performing well in class and is studying, doing his homework and doing everything, sweeping the yard, doing everything that he normally would do. And all of a sudden, his personality change or her personality change. And they start out doing different things. They start lapsing in class. They start, not doing what they used to do before. They have a personality change. Although they may not verbalize, they may not come to you and say, Mommy, Daddy, this is what's happening to you. But you as a mother, you as a father, you have to be aware. So when there is a personality change, you notice it. You could talk to them because sometimes they may not be able to articulate what's happening to them. They might be scared. They might be frightened. Yeah? So you have to know. That's why you have to pay attention to your child, to your kids. And sometimes, as parents, we don't. The kids want something, you give them a laptop or an iPad and they express all themselves to the screen. It's like you are giving away your parental rights to a screen, to a YouTube. And believe it or not, you guys may not even know how much influence people like myself and other people on your screen have on your kids. They listen to YouTube and are influenced by YouTube and vloggers more than they listen to some of their parents. And that, my friends, is not necessarily a good thing. Not necessarily a good thing. So you cannot give up your parental rights to someone you don't even know what their upbringing is to advise your kids on everything that they do. All right? So we have to take the blame sometimes for not listening, for not paying attention, for being too absent. Parents, we sometimes have to take the blame. The mothers, the fathers, right? So let's listen to our children. Let's listen, escucha, to our children. And again, they may not speak in words, they may speak in attitude, they might act out of themselves, they might be doing things crazy. You have to learn that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for being a part of our program, Ridealong Live, where everyone has a story to tell. I'm happy to have Mr. Denison George on the program here today. He is very much qualified to speak on this topic, and he's advocating and been advocating for many, many years. Again, Denison is a U.S. attorney. He holds a bachelor degree in criminal justice from John Jay College, 2 master's degree, international law and political science, and a doctor degree in law. So he's very much qualified, and he's an activist, and he's a hard worker, right? So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being a part of our conversation. Share the live so more people will be able to see it after it's finished. All right, let me give you guys some programming updates and information. What should I start with? Oh, right. So if you're looking for a car rental in Grenada, you got to give us a call. All right. So Ride Car Rental in Grenada. Yeah, we have it all. A fleet of cars, SUVs, CRVs. Give us a call. The number that you call is 422-1011. That's 422-1011. Give us a call right now. It's paperless. The whole process is paperless. Efficient. Go online, book your thing, pick up your keys in the mall, you're good to go. We even pick you up at the airport. Yeah, we pick up at the airport. Give us a call, 473-422-1011. That's 473-422-1011.
To rent a car in Grenada? Welcome to Ride Car Rental, offering efficient, time-saving service with affordable rates and 100% paperless rentals. Whether you're visiting or need a quick ride, we've got you covered. Call now at 473-422-1011 and get behind the wheel today. Ride Car Rental, where convenience meets the road.
Yeah, where convenience meet the road. Ride Car Rental. Check them out today.
Join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong. With the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride is sheer delight.
If you're looking for a t-shirt printing, guys, check Instaprint inside the Esplanade Mall. Give them a call as well, 473-422-1011. Get your t-shirt printed instantly. Instaprint Grenada.
Into island strong. With the host, we belong. Live worldwide, feel the beat.
Flying to Grenada, need
Amazing host.
to get it tomorrow, like in 4.5 hours, no problem.
We shine.
Jump on JetBlue right now, guys. JetBlue.com. Yeah, JetBlue.com.
Let's succeed.
Book and I'll see you in the morning.
Show with a good
Quick and easy.
together.
Nice.
Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so
Yeah, talking about high energy, high power, high performance. Riders e-bike, excursion and tour. Rent your e-bike right now inside the Esplanade Mall.
waves across.
And of course, this Sunday we head into St. Mark. This Sunday we ride St. Mark. Book your excursion right now. Ride St. Mark.
Join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride is sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong.
Yeah. Guys, if you have a Fire Stick, you could legally download Ridealong Live for free. No cost. Go into your app store right now on your TV and search Ridealong Live. Yeah. Just download the app. You can watch Ridealong Live on all our previous episodes online. Download it right now. Check it out, guys. Go to your Fire TV. If you don't believe me, go to your Fire TV. In your bedroom, your living room. If you're by your boyfriend's house, you're there by your girlfriend's house, download Ridealong Live into their TV. You can watch it anytime. I say, why is that? I said, I Ridealong Live, you know. And put it at the top too. Push it right up to the top. So, you know, it's easy to find when you're ready for it. It's easy to find it when they're ready for it. And
Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride is sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island.
guys, if you're looking for a t-shirt printing, Instaprint. If you're looking for a blank t-shirt, also check Instaprint. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program. It's Ridealong Live. I hope you guys learning the song, you know.
Wide, feel
Hope you guys learning the song, you know.
vibe. Amazing host leading the ride. Power to the people we shine. Giving fans what they need. Caribbean spirit, let's succeed. Every show with a good deed. Together we plant the seed. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong.
Thank you guys. Good night. See you guys tomorrow. Maria, see you tomorrow. Good night.
Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride is sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright, tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight, every ride is sheer delight. Making waves across the seas, love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please, bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong.